built on violence and remembered by the dead. All right, before we talk about ghosts, we need to talk about why this building even exists in the first place. Because the St. James Hotel didn't start haunted, it started necessary. Cimarron, New Mexico wasn't a destination in the 1800s. It was a survival stop along one of the most dangerous routes in the country, the Cimarron cutoff of the Santa Fe Trail. If you made it here, you were already exhausted, armed, and on edge. And that matters because people don't become violent out of nowhere. They become violent when pressure never lets up. And that pressure walked straight through the doors of this building the moment it was finished. So let's talk about the building itself. In 1872, Henry Lambert built what was originally called Lampert's Inn. I didn't know that, actually. It's crazy. This wasn't a luxury hotel. It was built to withstand chaos. Thick walls, heavy beams, and wide hallways. Downstairs was a saloon and a gambling room. Upstairs were basic guest rooms. No frills and no comfort. And this is important. Guns were not checked at the door. It was expected. Shootings weren't rare here. They were normal. Bodies were removed, tables were wiped down, and then the games continued. It's crazy. Imagine just shooting somebody and then, or just seeing somebody get shot, and then everybody just continues like nothing just happened, knowing that there's a dead body outside. And you might even be the one that shot the guy. That's crazy. But by later estimates, more than 26 people died violently inside this building. And locals will tell you that number is probably higher. And when violence becomes routine, it stops feeling shocking. It starts feeling permanent, the norm. There is a story that the locals always are telling about a wealthy cattleman named James, often identified as Thomas James Wright. He was a regular here, and one night he sat down for a high-stakes card game, and according to legend, by the end of the night, he had won ownership of the hotel itself. And that's when the room turned against him. James stood up, turned around, and then someone shot him in the back. No warning, no argument, just shot in the back. The shooter ran, and here's the part that never leaves people's minds. James didn't die where he fell. He dragged himself down the hallway, inch by inch, soaking the floorboards with blood, all the way back to his room, room 18. That's where he died. Room 18 is no longer available. It used to be. People have stayed there in that room where he died, and they've had crazy things. But I've been there, and the last time I was there, they had it locked, and people had left like offerings on top of, like, there's like each bedroom has like a little window on the top of the door that like pushes in. This is for the airflow, because back then they didn't have AC or anything. Yeah, people leave like shots or like alcohol or dollars or stuff like that. Like if you like put a camera, like your phone, we did that, put a phone in there, you can see all kinds of like coins and stuff that fell off and stuff. Pretty crazy stuff. But people that stay in the room, they don't describe it as angry. They describe it as like a heavy feeling. Guests that have stayed in the room before they closed it up report that the beds were shaking. They had pressure on their legs, footsteps pacing at night, and some see a man standing near the doorway. Not in a threatening way, but just standing there. And they feel just like exhausted. Paranormal investigators believe that the activity follows the path James took, not just the room itself. Like the building remembers how hard it was to get back to his room and just relives that night. There's been accounts of people seeing, and even paranormal investigators, they see someone crawling on the floor in the hallway, thinking that it might be James reliving or trying to show you what happened to him that night. During our stay, Jimmy, my lady at the time, when she was like doing the investigations with us, she remembers seeing something crawling on the floor. She was the only one that saw that, which is crazy. And another thing, oh shit, let's get the hell out of me. My fish are in this fish tank over here, and they're moving the rocks around. Let's scare the crap out of me. Cameron and Adam, he used to be part of our crew. Both of them used to be a part of the crew. They were doing an Estes method, and Cameron was trying to reach out to James. Well, Adam was an Estes method, and he did contact with him. He was kind of like basic like outlaw guy. Didn't really want to talk. Kind of told him some stuff, but every time Cameron would ask who shot him, he would just not answer because back then you weren't a snitch, especially if you're an outlaw. You wouldn't tell. He still took it to his grave. He still didn't want to tell us who shot him, which is crazy. There is another room. I'm not sure if it's called the Annie Oakley Room, but it's the first room when you go upstairs. It's like the first room that you see that's right on the right. And the guy that was the caretaker there that night when we did the investigation, he was telling us that there was a double murder of 2 women inside that room, which is really creepy. And then sometimes you'll hear women giggling in there, or like a really oppressive feeling. And me and Kyle felt that in the bathroom in that room. Felt like a weird feeling, and something that we're talking to in the spirit box was telling us that they were hiding in the bathroom or in the shower and stuff like that. That he was gonna come get them or something like that. It kind of made sense we didn't even know that until after we did the spirit box, and then we went down to take a break, and the caretaker was at the front desk and told him what happened. And he goes, "Oh yeah, that's the room where the 2 women were killed," and that was crazy. So I don't know what the hell happened to that room. I don't really know the whole story. He kind of like vaguely told us that story. So I have no idea. I think it was the Annie Oakley Rooms. I'm not sure, but whatever room that is right there is, I don't think it's called Annie. I don't remember, because in the story, Annie Oakley always stayed in a room where she could see down the hallway, but that door you can't see down the hallway. So I don't know, but whatever room that is, this fact check, put it in the comments. And yeah, but the whole place was like a brothel too, and a lot of horrible things happen to women there, because it's a brothel. I think it had to do with that there was a guy that had 2 women in there, and he ended up killing it. Got a little out of hand, or he was some kind of psycho or something. Some horrible things happened in there. EVP that we caught during one of our investigations, we were asking like, who's here? And I got chills just thinking about it. When we had the recorder going in the hallway, it was a 360 microphone, and it was right in front of the room 18. We left it there, but it's a 360 mic, so you can hear it 360 all around. And when you can hear one of us in the room asking, who's here? And on the recorder you can hear, hi, I'm here, over here, like different female voices. And what's crazy is that on the microphone, when you have the headphones on, it's a 360 microphone, you can hear it in different areas. That was creepy. That was probably the creepiest, like one of the creepiest EVPs we ever got, because it was like multiple people saying, it was almost like a roll call, like people just saying like, here, like I'm over here. That was pretty trippy. Another thing we caught, probably the craziest thing that happened. When we first got there, we were still unloading our stuff from our car, and Pickles went to go check out room 18 because he was like drawn to it. He was like, oh, this is cool. This is like the forbidden room now. And him and Kyle went over there by themselves, and Pickles like started like grabbing his like back, and he was like, damn, my back is like feels hot or something. Like, I don't know what the hell. And then he picked up his shirt, and Kyle was like, holy shit, you got scratched, dude. And there's 3 like scratches. It was like in a weird shape. It was like in an A shape, and he got it right in front of the room 18. That was probably one of the first craziest things that ever happened, like that way. Like no one's ever been like attacked like that before in our investigations, which is insane. It's cool, but it's kind of scary at the same time, But stuff like that does happen, and it's happened before. The caretakers told us that many people have been scratched there before if they're like disrespecting, the building and the spirits there, that they end up getting scratched or something. So be respectful if you ever go there. Some of the staff, they still report seeing like stuff, they report seeing a child running on the stairs late at night, laughing, and then it just disappears. There's no record of a child dying here, which somehow makes it even worse and creepier. And late at night, guests hear piano music coming from the bar area. That's actually where the bullet holes are up in the ceiling, from the past. So they never fixed them, because a lot of the times people didn't want to try fixing the bullholes because everybody that tried removing one would always have bad luck. They'd get a car accident or something like that, and they'd end up quitting because of them touching one of the bullholes, so they never patched them up or anything. And there's another, I don't know, it maybe people get this person confused, but the caretaker told us that they used to have like a barkeep or like a server, I guess, that was like a small person. And a lot of people thought he was a kid, but he wasn't until they got a good look at him. And I guess he like is a little prankster. He'll like grab people, like women's like behinds or asses and stuff like that. And he'll see him like peek over the bar. And then the boy one, there was like the guy told us there was a story about a kid that like blew up or not blew up, but burned in the building somewhere or something. So that might be the kid that a lot of people think that there's no record of. These are like local stories I've heard, and usually those ones are sometimes they're more accurate, but sometimes they've been changed over the years, but still pretty creepy. Like sometimes they'll see a little kid. Even when I was in the back of the bar, like I had a weird feeling like someone was watching me. And I felt like it was like a little kid there, and Jimmy kept seeing something peeking over like the bar when we were doing like Estes method at the bar. So that was pretty creepy. I'm trying to think of anything else, but there's pretty much activity throughout that whole building if you want to go check it out. It's in Cimarron, New Mexico, but it's a pretty awesome location. It feels like it's in the middle of nowhere, so it is even more creepier. But that building has stories and a really crazy past, and buildings sometimes they never forget things, and that building was learning dark secrets and stuff way in its heyday and up till now. So thanks for watching Pitch Dark TV. Let's get paranormal. This is a little different. I just wanted to do one that's based in our home state, so I might be doing a few more other ghost stories that are located here in New Mexico, just because I'm from here, and I've heard stories myself, and there's been places I've been to before too, so I have like a little bit of a like local ear for some of these locations. But yeah, thanks for watching, Joey, as always, and thanks for watching. Catch you next time.